Well, he was a finalist on season 2 of Food Network's Barbecue Brawl, where he showed off his talent on the smoker just like he does 5 days a week in his Richmond spot, Harlem Road Texas BBQ. He's Pitmaster Ara Malekian. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, close enough.
Close
Who
enough.
joins us now for a lesson in brisket and wine. It is so great to see you, Chef
Great
Ara.
to be here.
And last time we visited, it was over Zoom, so I'm
Yes.
glad that we're doing this in person. First of all, a little bit about you. I mean, boy, you have really exploded when it comes to the barbecue world, the chef world, and Food Network got a hold of you.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been great to represent Texas and Richmond and the Houston area. I've been enjoying it.
We love shining the spotlight on you. You trained in Switzerland, moved to the U.S. In the late 80s, but
Yes.
you're a Houstonian now.
Yes, I mean, look at me. I look like you're a typical Texan, right?
I love it. Okay, when it comes to brisket, you say there's no better time to pair this with wine than right now.
Yes, I mean, Texas brisket is very simple. It's just salt and pepper and smoke and fire, right? And these three great red wines, which will be at the Wine and Food Week next week, pair extremely well with Texas barbecue.
All right, well, let's get started. We've got a raw brisket right here.
And I've already trimmed.
Okay, and that's really important before
Yes.
we smoke it or put it on the grill or do anything, right?
Yes, yes, and we've got the pepper mixture right here.
Okay,
So
and this is kind of your secret seasoning, right?
Well, it's not much of a secret. I always tell people what I put in it. So
Okay.
it's 2 different grinds of pepper, coarse and butcher's grind.
Okay.
And sumac, okay? So you're gonna mix that up first a little bit,
Okay.
okay?
And would we start with this, or we want to
No,
start
we're
with?
gonna start with the salt first. So
Okay.
I mix the salt with my pepper because we want to control how much salt we put on the brisket. So each part of the brisket gets a different amount of salt.
And we should mention this is coarse salt, so this
Yes.
is like a kosher.
Coarse salt, so that's perfect.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little rub on there.
All right.
Okay. Now do a nice little drizzle
Same
of it.
thing here?
Same thing, yeah.
And this is kind of what's getting that crust on the end, right? Is that what we
Yes.
call it? A
The
crust?
bark.
The bark.
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's the
We
best.
fight over
Yeah.
that in my house.
Yeah.
Okay, if we don't have a smoker though, we could do this on the grill?
You can. You'd have to put a little bit of wood chips on a little metal container on the side of it.
Okay.
The trick is about temperature. So the lower you don't want to smoke brisket any higher than 235 because it'll not give the fat that is in there to render perfectly because it's such a tight grained meat.
Right.
So we want to do it slowly, almost like braising. So the longer you take, the lower temperature, longer period of time, the more tender your brisket's going to end up being.
Slow and low.
Exactly.
Oh, see, I'm catching
Yeah.
on, Chef.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so this is kind of, we would flip this over and do it on the other
Yeah,
side, right?
Flip it over, do it on the other side.
Okay, salt. We'll do that. And you know what? I love this because we got magic of TV, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I love when that happens. All right. So we do that. And what is this? About how many hours?
A 235 brisket this size, you're looking about 12 to 14 hours.
Okay. So you got to know what you're doing
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
You're watching the brisket.
Watching the brisket, pull out a nice glass of wine to drink with it, and it's good to go.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead. No. Are we pairing or do you want to bring
Yes.
out the other brisket? Okay.
gonna
What are we
put those
starting
in.
with?
so this is the Grenache, which is the Barossa.
Mm-hmm.
Nice fruity notes, a little bit bolder than your normal like a Cabernet.
Lovely.
So it goes extremely well with brisket. We're gonna taste it now when we slice the brisket.
Okay, why don't we bring the brisket out so we can talk about that. While you're getting that straight, I do want to talk about Food and Wine Week, which you're part of
Yes.
in the Woodlands, and I'm so excited that this is back. You need your gloves.
After a 2 years break, so it'll be all next week, Tuesday through Saturday. I'll
Right.
be part of the Friday event, which is for the love of Texas.
That is so great. And this is all expert master chefs, winemakers, educators, hailing from Houston and across the globe. Chef Ara will be featured for the Love of Texas event, which is Friday, June 10th from 6 to 9 p.m. And of course, this is the Woodlands Waterway Marriott Hotel and Convention Center. So now, listen, we didn't talk about the paper, but we have to put this on there, or that's how we let it rest?
That's how we let it rest. So once the brisket comes out of the smoker, we wrap it in butcher paper.
Okay.
And we let it rest. So the rest time is just as important as the cooking time. So I like resting my briskets for about minimum 3 hours.
Okay.
You know how when you pull a steak off of a grill, you
Yeah.
want to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes?
Okay. 3
Same thing.
hours wrapped like this.
Yes.
Okay.
And a hot box. In a restaurant, we do it in a controlled environment.
Okay.
Which is a hot box.
Y'all.
Yeah.
This looks amazing. Amazing. And look at the bark on there too.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah. Perfectly cooked, perfectly seasoned. This looks amazing. This is so great. Okay, so
this is the lean part of the brisket we're slicing right now.
okay. That is lovely. Can I just reach in?
Oh yeah.
Am I reaching in and grabbing? Thanks, chef. Appreciate it. Look at that.
Now have a bite of that.
Yeah.
And some of the wine.
Oh wow, this is a treat. This is real good. We can learn all the tricks and tips at the food and wine event. Lovely. I'm going to taste this. What is your favorite? This is your go-to?
Brisket is. We do serve beef ribs at my restaurant every day. It does sell out every day, so does this, but beef rib is very rich. Not many barbecue restaurants do it every day. We do it, but brisket is the go-to in any Texas barbecue.
This is great, and that wine is lovely. Look, they also understood the assignment. I don't know if you saw my wine glass before the break, but look, it's right there for me. It's almost as tall as I am, and Wine and Food Week is happening from June 6th through June 12th at the Woodlands. Times vary. For a link to grab your tickets, head over to the Scene on Houston Live section of our website. Again, Chef Ara will be featured for the Love of Texas event Friday, June 10th from 6 to 9. But get on out there because there's something to see, do, eat, and drink the entire time. Cheers.
And plenty of wine.
Plenty of wine. Chef Ara, it's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for the brisket and the wine. Derek, again, we won outside, okay? First place right here.
Hey, listen, and Wine and Food Week, I love that it is back after a little bit of a break. So June 6th through 12th, mark your calendars. We're going to be there too.
Sounds good. We're
All
busy
right, Courtney,
eating.
have fun out there. Don't go away. Houston Life will be right back.